morning. Good morning. Ah, the joy of the Lord is our strength. Good morning. Randy, your breakfast is there.
Okay, thank you.
I love having my brother here with me. If I had my way about it, I'm just telling y'all, and this is the truth. I'd have a house big enough that all my brothers and sisters by choice, their families, we'd all live together. We'd have one great big common room that we'd come together for meals. And then we'd have private quarters we could go off to when we needed some privacy. But I'd just have us all together. I love my people, I'm just saying. And y'all are my people, so y'all would have your own room. Eileen, you'd have your own bedroom. John, you and Beverly would have your own wing. Good morning, John. Haven't seen you in a while. Trusting all is going well and your business is blessed and your family's blessed. And Malia, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks for joining us. Tickles me to have you on with us. We got David from Lawton. May have a little time this afternoon, David. I'll check and see how things are going. And there's Larissa. Good morning, Larissa. I miss you. Love you. All right, August the 30th, 2019, Job, chapters 34 through 36. And I went through this morning and I read. I think that God whispered in my heart a little bit. But overall, this is Elihu speaking. I hope I'm saying that right. How would you say it?
Elihu.
Elihu. I like that better than Elihu. Elihu is speaking. And I think, now you guys don't laugh at me, Larissa and Kim and David and Eileen, don't you guys laugh at me. Because I think I'm just going to make one small statement about the reading of Job. Can I do it? Limit myself to one small statement. While there were several things in here as he's describing God that spoke to my heart, overall what I sensed this morning was to leave the reading in Job alone, because from this point on it's going to end, as we know, with God speaking. And because of that, I'm going to leave it alone, because I don't want to taint what God may be speaking to you about what's written in the book of Job. That may have been the longest sentence in the history of man, but I did it with one comment. See there, Larissa? I did it. Miss Hannah's with you? Turn and give her a great big kiss on the cheek and tell her she's still my favorite. Love you, Miss Hannah. In fact, I was looking at pictures yesterday, and I was looking at those pictures, a bunch of selfies I was doing at some point in time, and I had a hold of Hannah, and she was loving up on me, and I'd turned and I'd given her a kiss on the cheek. And so I was really missing you guys, so it's good to see you guys on this morning. Thank you all for joining our one-year daily Bible study. It's been a powerful year. I can just... what a year it has been in the reading of the Word, and we're on day, I believe it's 242. Yes, 242. And then we're going to finish up this week before we take a 3-day break for the Labor Day weekend. We're going to finish up in this 2 Corinthians that is power-packed this morning. And then I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. So Tom and I get the honor and the privilege of going to Colorado. And we used to go and take a 3 or 4 day weekend. And very honored to get to speak and teach at Charis Bible College out at Andrew Womack Ministries. But this time they've expanded my time. And expanded how many departments I'm going to be teaching in, and we're going to spend 2 weeks there. So God's good. And so if you guys would, please pray for me while I'm gone. Pray that God guides me and that I only say what my Father would have me say, and I would only do what my Father would have me do, and pray that His words penetrates lives, and that it goes smooth with Bible study. So there may be some times in the next 2 weeks that I post a recording at 8:30 in the morning. There's other times that I'll be doing it live. Colorado's an hour earlier, so that means 7:30 Mountain Time. I will come on live and do this before I have class or whatever. So anyway, just pray for me. I said all that just to say. So here I did so good, just short and sweet on Job, and then I elaborate about scheduling. But I thank you guys for. It's an hour later?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, anyway, thank you guys for always being flexible with me. I appreciate it so much. 2 Corinthians chapter 4. I really think I'm going to read this to you. I know that there's people that come on in their busy schedule that they haven't had a chance to read with us. So I'm going to read this because it's just so good. Therefore, since God in His mercy has given us, Paul and his co-workers, this new way, we never give up. All of us get faced with things that we have a tendency to want to give up. You'll oftentimes hear me say, and you'll oftentimes see me post, never ever give up. And it can be in a lot of different ways. It can be life in general. I mean, there's times when all of us say, oh, I'm ready. I'm ready to give up. Life in general. Then there's other times when we're fulfilling and know that we're fulfilling what we're supposed to be doing, the work that's on this earth for us to do, to give back and to make this earth better, and co-create with the earth and co-create with God's kingdom. And a lot of us oftentimes get to this point where we think, well, God told me to do this, so it's going to be easy. And I can assure you, when you're following your spirit man, it is easier. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be easy. In fact, oftentimes the Bible will say it's the darkest right before the morning. Romans 8:18 will say that beyond your pain is my glory. And I just wonder oftentimes, when we get to heaven and all things are made known to us, how many times we're going to be shown that here we were racing towards the finish, and we reached the resistance, and the resistance is hard, and we can't keep moving forward, we can't move, and then we give up, that we were barely away from the finish line. Barely. I've got written in my prayer closet in there that there is no failure in the kingdom, and that I don't believe I've ever heard a story where God ordered retreat. Now, I haven't validated that. But in my heart of hearts, especially for what God was speaking to me in that, because in that moment, something, I don't remember exactly what it was at the time I wrote that, but I can tell you that at the time that God spoke that to me, that I would put it in my prayer closet, because I put the things up in my prayer closet that really, really speaks to me, that there was something that I felt called to do, and I was facing resistance, and the temptation to give up was there, and I heard God speak to me that He didn't call for a retreat. And then the second thing I wrote that day was, there is no failure in the kingdom. So, therefore, since God in His mercy has given us this new way, we never give up. We have a power inside of us that allows us to overcome. We reject all shameful deeds and underhanded methods. The way we live our life and the things we do day to day does matter. Even when, and we're not supposed to be, sinful minded. It's not about sin. it still matters. We reject all shameful deeds and underhanded methods. We don't try to trick anyone or distort the Word of God. We tell the truth before God, and all who are honest know this. If the good news we preach is hidden behind a veil, remember that veil we talked about yesterday? If the good news we preach is hidden behind a veil, it is hidden only from people who are perishing. Satan, who is the god of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. They are unable to see the glorious light of the good news. Have you ever, seen the goodness in somebody, and you know that there's more there. They're capable of so much more. There's so much potential there. And so you just, get into the moment, and it's like, I just want to bring that out in you. Can you not hear me? Can you not? I'm telling you how good you are. I'm telling you there's nothing but glory ahead of you. I'm telling you, don't give up. I'm telling you, stay the course. Don't retreat. And then the next thing you know, they turn and run, and they're gone. And you're left going, what? What just happened? This is explaining that. And it's also explaining that we got into the flesh in that. They don't understand this message about the glory of Christ, who is the exact likeness of God. You see, we don't go around preaching about ourselves. We preach that Jesus Christ is Lord, and we ourselves are your servants for Christ's sake. For God, who said, "Let there be light in the darkness," has made this light shine in our hearts so we could know the glory of God that is seen in the face of Jesus Christ. Now, are you ready? Here we go. We now have this light shining in our hearts, but we ourselves are like fragile clay jars containing this great treasure. This makes it clear that our great power is from God, not ourselves. And then here it is. Got it circled, got the whole paragraph circled. I've got it all highlighted. We are pressed on every side by troubles, but we are not crushed. See, Job believed that God was trying to kill him. Job believed that God had put this sickness on him. We are pressed on every side by troubles, but we are not crushed. As bad as it was for Job, he lost 10 children. Of everything that happened to Job, losing 10 children in my heart of hearts is, But he wasn't crushed. We're perplexed, but not driven to despair. We are hunted down, but never abandoned by God. We get knocked down, but we're not destroyed. Through suffering, our bodies continue to share in the death of Jesus, so the life of Jesus may also be seen in our bodies. Yes, we live under constant danger of death, Paul says, because we serve Jesus, so that the life of Jesus will be evident in our dying bodies. So we live in the face of death, but this has resulted in eternal life for you. Wow. We are pressed on every side by troubles, but we're not crushed. We are perplexed, but we're not driven to despair. We are hunted down, but never abandoned by God. We get knocked down, but we're not destroyed. Through suffering, our bodies continue to share in the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be seen in our bodies. Never, ever give up. It's always the darkest right before the morning. The resistance is the greatest right before the breakthrough. Whatever you're facing, whatever you're attempting to accomplish, never, ever give up. You guys have a wonderful Labor Day weekend, and we'll see you next week.